Hello everybody and welcome to the MegaNet Live show number 6. Yes, I've had a few problems trying to start the show. If you had tuned in a little bit earlier on, you might have heard a few shorter versions of the show, but everything seems to be okay now. Anyway, my name's Sean and I'm going to be with you on MegaNet Radio and for the next 45 minutes, and we're going to kick off. We got a lot on the show today. It's not just music, it's not just intro outro, but we are going to kick off the show with a great track. It's Somebody by Drop Gun.
Somebody's buying polo. Somebody's buying polo. I need you not today. I need you right away. Somebody's in this bed. Somebody feels like no one cares. Somebody's in this bed. Somebody feels like no one cares.
Somebody by a Drop Gun to kick off the MegaNet show 6. And now we're going to play something by Claudia Criccioli. One of my favourite tracks by this Oxfordshire artist. It's Gonna Give It All You Got. Enjoy.
Gonna give it all you got. You won't take no for an answer. You did your best shot. Through the pain and the pleasure, it's about loving who you are and believing what you stand for. I'm gonna live a high life now and take no second measure. All across the line and over the ocean, gotta stay true to yourself and have faith in the process. You won't take no for an answer. You give it your best shot. Through the pain and the pleasure, it's about loving who you are and believing what you stand for. We're gonna live the high life now and take no second measure.
Gonna Give It All You've Got by Oxfordshire artist Claudia Catroli. She sings on that. She sings and produces those tracks herself, and you can find her on Spreaker. And if you want to find me, here's how you do it. MegaNet Radio. Listen to MegaNet Radio on Spreaker or contact us on Facebook by typing in MegaNet Mal. You can also go to our blog site at seanjimcycle.blogspot.com. MegaNet Radio, put us in your favorites. MegaNet.
Jet black surprise, jet black heels, fishnet hose. Under the moon she blooms like a jet black rose. Satin skin, tender to the touch, velvet kisses that I miss so much. Feels so right, her walking by my side lifts my spirit up with every single stride. Let heaven know, jet black rose, just like the tide, she ebbs and flows. Oh, heaven knows, jet black rose, like the evening breeze, she comes and goes. Oh, heaven knows. Limousine, she's got it in her head to make a nasty scene. Jealous eyes watch her pass, wonder what goes on behind the glass. Oh, but why can't they ever let it be? Those prying eyes that always follow me. That's just the way it goes. Walking home with hands with the finest jet black rose. Lord heaven knows, jet black rose, just like the tide, she ebbs and flows. Oh, heaven knows, jet black rose, like the evening breeze, she comes and goes.
And that was Jet Black Rose by Lost Europe, and they sound a little bit sort of Spinal Tap, don't they? I think they had that turned right up to 11. Now on Friday that's just gone, we heard the sad news of the loss of Aretha Franklin, mega singing star Aretha Franklin. Sadly passed away, like I've just said there, Friday the 17th. Now I've compiled a little bit of a tribute to Aretha Franklin. Obviously, because I'm on Spreaker, I cannot play any copyrighted music, so we can't play any of her music. But if you listen to my Radio Vista show on Monday between 6 and 7, I will be having a tribute to her then. That's on the Running Man show. But I can play you this little tribute compilation dedicated to the late great Aretha Franklin, and what a singer she was, what a phenomenon.
You can hear Aretha Franklin in any female who makes the hair stand up on your neck when they sing. You know that they were inspired by Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Louise Franklin is one of the most honored female singers of the last 50 years. With 18 Grammy Awards and 45 top hits, Franklin is often referred to as the Queen of Soul. But she can sing anything from jazz and blues to pop and opera.
She is someone who can reach the highest notes and capture the most soulful moments in a song.
She's got this tremendous gospel energy that she's coming from, even when she's doing more traditional R&B, secular music.
She really is the kind of singer that feels like she's singing right towards you.
Franklin hit superstardom in the late 60s and early 70s with hits like Natural Woman, Think, and I Never Loved a Man.
Producers have loved working with her because she's not just the person who comes into a studio and gets told what to do. She actually knows instruments. She plays the piano. She knows how to write. She actually knows her craft, and people really respected that about Aretha Franklin.
Born in 1942 in Memphis and raised in Detroit, Franklin was a musical prodigy.
Smokey Robinson tells a great story of going to the Franklin's house and hearing this incredible voice in the other room and hearing this incredible piano being played in the other room. Walks in there and can't believe, just absolutely cannot believe it's from a child.
Franklin's musical roots lie in the Detroit church, where her father, Reverend C.L. Franklin, one of the most legendary African-American preachers in the country, presided.
He was friends with people like Martin Luther King Jr., and so Aretha really grew up in the thick of the civil rights movement with some of the biggest and most iconic figures of that time.
And it was Franklin's interpretation of the Otis Redding song Respect that gave the civil rights movement an anthem.
You couldn't find a more socially relevant record, certainly of the African-American persuasion, than Respect. It summed up everything that was going on.
When you think of Aretha Franklin, you think of Respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. The way she did that song, it was such an important song for her at that time.
She recorded numerous other hits throughout the 70s, like Rock Steady, I Say a Little Prayer, and Spanish Harlem.
Aretha's music is timeless. I mean, it is stirring of the soul. It makes you want to get up and dance. It makes you feel like you're in church, but you could, move and groove to it.
In 1980, Franklin co-starred in the Blues Brothers movie and signed with legendary producer Clive Davis, a partnership that produced 3 #1 hits, Freeway of Love, Who's Zooming Who, and I Knew You Were Waiting.
She was recording music with George Michael. People who were making music in the 60s weren't updating their sounds to be relevant in the 1980s, and Aretha Franklin was able to do that. And she still is doing that right now. She has managed to continue to stay relevant.
Aretha Franklin has been a central figure in American culture for 5 decades, starting in 1968 when she appeared on the cover of Time, to 1987 when she was the first female artist inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, to singing at the inauguration of President Barack Obama.
You can't not love Aretha. She's like one of those quintessential sounds of America, like the Beatles, like the Stones, like Louis Armstrong, and then there's Aretha.
Well, there we go, you ladies and gentlemen. A little insight into the late, great Aretha Franklin. And, I mean, she also had a real presence when she walked into the studio. Even when she first started out. Now, she started singing, like we said in that little piece there, very young. In fact, she had two children before she was 16 years old. Now, I'm just going to play another clip, and this is a producer in one of the studios she used to work, just talking a little bit about how Aretha used to lay down her authority. Just listen to this.
He said, you know, I've got this great little studio down in Muscle Shoals, and these cats are really greasy. You're gonna love it.
She walks in, right over there. And she's got this aura around her, pretty thick. I mean, the girl was special. I remember watching the guys, being good Southern boys, they carry on with anything except looking or dealing with her. So she walked right over to the piano. She sat there a moment, and then she just hit this unknown chord, I would say. Didn't anybody have to say we're about to cut.
We did what we called head sessions at that time, and there was no real music written for it. The musicians would just listen to what it was I was doing, and then they would decide what they were going to do around that.
Now, here comes the music.
Do I look bothered?
Oh, you are awful, but I like you.
I'm not interested in your money. I'm not interested in the things you do. It's like they made you for my body. The way I fit so perfectly with you. Straight lace when we down low. When you give me that cocoa, handcuff me like popo. I'm like, oh no, you doing it alright. You blind me like flashlight. You sexy like all night, all night. Boy, you're so wavy, wavy. And I'm standing here like, take me home. Boy, you're so wavy, wavy. And I'm standing here like, take me home. Take me home, 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 home.
Wavy by the brilliant Ice Leak, and I've been playing that song to death on this show. Now on MegaNet Radio, it's time for some Onion News. Enjoy.
A new medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll most likely never stop feeling like this. According to the American Journal of Medicine, you're not making any sense and everyone thinks you're weird.
Everyone can smell the marijuana on your breath and on your clothes. Everyone is laughing at you.
Dr. Philip Blanton of Harvard studied the effects of THC on the brain, concluding that the smell of marijuana smoke will likely stay on your clothes for months, and also that you've been telling the same story for 5 minutes. Additionally, the in-depth report reveals that despite trying to act cool, you're definitely laughing too much and everyone is messing with you.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high. If you're young and you smoke marijuana, you will probably never be able to find a job. And if you're an adult, you will most likely be fired. If you hear a noise, that's probably the police, and you're probably going to jail.
While previous studies suggested that it's all good and that we're all made of the same stuff that makes stars, new research indicates that your brain got broken and you shouldn't have done this. Doctors say the study raises important questions such as, what if that wasn't just marijuana and how are you going to get home?
This is forever. This is the new reality.
Next up, a new poll shows that kinky Americans feel the country is on the wrong track and they like it.
MegaNet Radio. Listen to MegaNet Radio on Spreaker or contact us on Facebook by typing in MegaNet Mal. You can also go to our blog site at seanjimcycle.blogspot.com. MegaNet Radio, put us in your favorites. MegaNet. Was Help by Carla Moran. That was the karaoke version, as I always jokingly say. Right, now for a little bit of Bicester Park Run news. Yes, my local park run is in the town of Bicester, and I've got a quick update here. Okay, so coming soon, there's going to be a new pacer vests for 30, 32 minutes, 34 minutes, 36, 38 and 40-minute finish times. Well, obviously any times that are faster than that, they've already got pacer vests. So that's good news for people that want to pace themselves around the 5k course between 30 minutes and 40 minutes. You can just get into the rhythm of the pacer with a vest on, and that should help you on your way. Now, they say, Mr. Parkrun say, we hope they will arrive in time for the next Pacer Week, which is on the 1st of September. And then there's a bit of an appeal here. Could you be one of the new Pacers? Have a think about it and let me know if you could volunteer or if you have any questions about pacing. Lots of current 30 to 40 minute finishers have expressed excitement about these already and we look forward to helping you achieve your personal finish goals. Yes, all you have to do is go to the Parkrun website, look up Mr. Parkrun and contact one of the organisers about that. Right, here's Chance by Sir AVR, Pippa and right, yeah, this is Chance basically by local artist Pippa Moran.
What will you say to me? What will you say to me? When we cross in the street, will you turn away? I know you're silently running on memories, looking around to see things will never change if you don't leave your comfort zone. If you don't believe in what you want. So if you let go for a chance to live, will you believe? Will you be half as bold to events you must first forgive? You must first forgive. In your anxiety, you suffer defiantly. I know you want to see, but you turn away. All of humanity don't equal insanity. Looking around to see more than yesterday. If you just leave your comfort zone. If you just believe in what you so you left alone for a chance to live. Will you believe? Will you be half as bold to events you must first forgive? So you left alone for a chance to live. Will you believe? Will you be half as bold to events you must first forgive? You must first forgive.
There we go. That was Chance by the brilliant Pippa Moran. And you're listening to the MegaNet live show, MegaNet Live 6, and it's on MegaNet Radio. You can also find me on Mixcloud as well. There's a MegaNet show on Mixcloud. And if you want to check out the website, well, I haven't actually got a website, I've got a blog site, Sean Jim Cycle at blogspot.com, or you can check out my Facebook page. All you have to do is put MegaNet Mel into Facebook, and that'll take you along to the Facebook page. Now then, you've heard of people that kind of modify their cars, so they might modify like a BMW M3 or something like that, make it go even faster, you get them remapped, etc, etc. Well, what happens if you modify a Le Mans car? Well, what you get is you get a Porsche Evo 919 hybrid. That's what you get. So if the engineers are allowed to modify a Le Mans car, take all the rules and regulations off of it, here's what it can do. The Porsche Evo version of its Le Mans winning 919 hybrid set a new track record at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps in spring 2018. Porsche's Neil Janis at the time of 1 minute 41.770 seconds in a heavily modified LMP1 car, smashing the existing record by Lewis Hamilton. Now, this was Lewis Hamilton's pole time of 1 minute 42.553 for the 2017 Grand Prix. And this Porsche 919 hybrid beat it by 0.7 of a second. Now, I'm pretty sure 2018 in Spa, Lewis Hamilton or whoever in a Formula 1 car will beat that record. And like I say, this Le Mans car was heavily modified. But anyway, that's enough of me banging on about it in my uneducated way. Here's exactly how they do it.
Motorsport is full of restrictions, things teams can and cannot do. But what happens when engineers ignore the rulebook with a Le Mans winning LMP1 car? A 141.770 around Spa is what happens. That's 0.783 of a second faster than Lewis Hamilton's pole lap in 2017. But why was the car created in the first place? We spoke to Endurance Triple Crown holder Timo Bernard for an insight into this glorious car.
The idea was what we can do to give the car like a farewell tour, and then a lot of ideas popped up, and I think the best idea to convert the car into, I would say, like an open room, so not follow the WC rules, and that's how the Evo was born, and so it shows what the car is capable of doing without limitations of fuel saving and all these things, and also a little bit with aerodynamic, a little bit more open. And you can see, that's a fabulous car. And Neil Yanni, a couple of weeks ago, he beat the Formula 1 lap time record, quali record.
How was this car made 12 seconds faster than its qualifying time last year? Well, firstly, Porsche removed the WEC mandated fuel flow meter, which allowed the car's brake horsepower to jump from a limited 500 to 720. Combine this with the increased horsepower from the E-Machine, up from 400 to 440, you're looking at 1,160 brake horsepower. But that wasn't the only change. Timo, tell us what else is different on this beast.
The nature of the car hasn't changed. It was just like to show without the rules what the car's capable of doing. So
can you show us a little bit around the car potentially?
Absolutely.
Anything that's particularly changed?
Well, when we start with the outside shape, you see that, we have no headlights on the front, so it's for weight saving for sure, and we only drove in daylight, so it was not necessarily, the car was, the number one rule was to bring the weight down as much as possible, so that's why we had to skip the lights as well. The aerodynamic it still looks like a 919 hybrid. You still see it's like an LMP1 car, but the aero for sure changed. We ran some skirts, they call it, so to seal off the floor and to generate more downforce from the underfloor. So these are the famous classic we run, which are forbidden in every category over the world, but brings a bit of 70s spirit, you know. When
I bet it's quite a nice feeling to see all these unrestricted parts of the car.
Well, I mean, it brings a lot of downforce, I can tell you.
Yeah.
So that was sure. I mean, so we implemented that. If you have a look at the rear wing, the sheer size of the rear wing and position has changed quite a lot. So the rear wing is much further back, and also the end plates and the wing itself. I mean, it's growing bigger and to generate more downforce again. Also, I mean, the underfloor, which is very restricted with LMP1 rules, is a lot more open. We try to angle it differently, just again to generate more downforce. If you look at the cockpit itself, not much has changed. I mean, it's still, if you look from that angle, it still looks like the LMP1, the 919 hybrid that we started Le Mans with last year.
Yeah.
A bit of small things, so for sure you have no driver a lot less driver cooling because it's just basically 1 or 2 laps. So again, to reduce weight. But the nature of the car, like I say, the basic and the functioning has not changed.
The lap time Neil Yarni managed to achieve around Spa was astounding, averaging 153 miles per hour over the 4.35 mile lap and managing a top speed of 223 miles per hour. But is there more time to be found? Is a 139 possible?
To be honest, we came there, we did some prep on the simulator and stuff like that, but we had like a 3-day test at Spa, and the approach was really to go slow, step by step, and see how the car's developing, what we can do, and in the end, to do a couple of attempts to put down the lap. And the lap was very good, but for sure if you go there again, you will find some lap time.
Now, I think we've reached the part of the video where I need to stop annoying you with voiceover and allow you to enjoy listening and seeing the 919 Evo tribute at its scintillating best. Enjoy. So what's next for the 919 Evo? Beating the Nordschleife lap record? And you're doing a demo run at the Nordschleife. How come you're not trying to beat the record here? Because I think a lot of people would love to see that.
Yeah, right. I mean, once the Spa event happened, I mean, the amount of attention that we got throughout the whole world, I mean, from fans and media and everything, it was just amazing, overwhelming. And then once we announced that we're going to do a demo lap here, everybody had high expectations.
Again, do it again.
But we have to say, I mean, at least today it's a demo lap, and we want to show the car, present it to the fans, and show this beautiful car to all the people that came out to.
Maybe one day you'll beat the Nordschleife record.
We'll see.
Probably do it quite easily as well. I think it's safe to say this is an amazingly successful farewell tour. Who do you think will be next to beat this Spa lap record? Let us know in the comment section below.
Wow, there we go. So that was the amazing Porsche 919 hybrid that they were talking about there. Now then, that car, what they said right at the end of the piece there was that the car was going to go on and have a go at the Spa Francorchamps record. Well, since that was made, yes, it's been there. It has actually been there. It smashed the record. Yep, the Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo has shattered the 35-year-old lap record of Nuremberg in a devastatingly rapid 5 minutes and 19.54 seconds. Wow, isn't that incredible? Now, I believe that the Spa record is going to be broken by probably Lewis Hamilton or Sebastian Vettel or Max Verstappen this year. But that Francorchamps record on that great big 14-mile race circuit there is not going to be broken for some time, I believe. Anyway, it's time to end the show now. Thanks very much for listening, and until next time, we're down, we're clear, we're gone. Here's Dreaming by